Do you or your family love playing video games? I sometimes play video games with my family. It's kind of fun. Are you going to be having a video game birthday party? Then you're going to want to watch this video. This is Bright Future Baking, and I'm going to show you how to make a mini Minecraft cake. Just think of how fun it will be for everyone to have their own individual Minecraft cake. So this is what you're going to need. You're going to need a quarter sheet cake or a half sheet cake, depending upon how many people you have. I actually got out of the quarter sheet, I got like 6 to 8 slices out of it, and I'll show you what the measurements are and everything like that. If you want half sheet, you could do more. I would do half sheet if you have more than, say, like about 15 people or whatever. I would definitely do a half sheet. You're gonna need fudge icing, milk chocolate icing, white icing, fruit rolls, Post-its, cardboard. So let's get started. So we're going to go ahead, and this is what I have left over from my quarter sheet cake that I used. And the reason why you needed a Post-it is because we're just going to go ahead and put it on the cake. This is the perfect size. It's a 3 by 3. So you just want to take your butter knife, be careful not to hurt yourself, and then just cut along the edge like that. And then if you have like any extra pieces, you can go like that, any extra crumbs, and you're going to want to do that. Okay, so once we do that, we're going to go ahead and put this on a cardboard. We've cut out a little piece of cardboard. This is a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So let's go ahead and get that. All right, once we have that cut out, we're going to go ahead and put that onto our cardboard. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to use our chocolate fudge and our milk chocolate icing. So this is our milk chocolate icing, and it's in a reusable bag. So we're just going to go ahead and just put it here on the top, and then we're going to put it on the bottom. And then we're going to put this on the side. Then we're going to do this at the top, the bottom, and then like in the middle there. Now we're going to alternate the fudge icing. Now the reason why we're alternating this is so it gives it some different colors. If you have an air bubble, that's fine. You can smooth that out. Okay, so we go ahead and do that and just get it all the way across there. And then we're going to get a spatula and we're going to smooth that. All right, so we go ahead and use the spatula on that. Now we're going to set it in the freezer, and we're going to smooth it with this special technique I'm going to be showing you in just a moment. All right, so we went ahead and put that in the freezer, and then I actually added some white icing to the top also and stuck it back in the freezer. So you're going to want to go about a little less than halfway. You see how we have the nice smooth actually the chocolate, and then the white is right there. So this is going to be a towel technique that I'm going to show you how to smooth it. You're going to do this with the chocolate. You're going to set it in the freezer, and just to let you know, before you actually cut into the cake, after you bake it, you're going to want to put it in the freezer so it's easier to cut and easier to work with. So what I did was with the chocolate icing, I just did a paper towel. Now you have to put this in the freezer, otherwise you won't be able to work with it and won't be able to smooth it. So I did that all the way around with the chocolate first, okay? So it shows you that it has a nice smooth. Now, the texture you're going to need is where you can touch it. That's why where it won't like be sticky or anything like that. That's how you're going to be able to smooth it. So I did that all over the side of the cake with the chocolate to show you what that looks like right there. And now I'm going to show you what it looks like with the front. So then I just put icing a little less than halfway and on the sides and then also on the top. So once again, this icing has been in the freezer for a while on the cake, so it's been setting up. So basically what this does is it gives it a little bit of texture. If it's sticking to the paper towel, it means it needs to go in the freezer a little longer, okay? So basically this just helps you warm it up just a little bit, and you'll see that it's going to be smoother. You just got to work with it a little bit. All right. So once we go ahead and do that, it is getting smoother. And if for some reason, at some point, you may have to switch paper towels too. So it makes it nice and smooth. The temperature of your hand helps actually smooth the icing as you're rubbing it with the paper towel here, okay? You don't want to try this on a cake that has not been in the freezer, because the icing will just stick to it. Now, this looks like a really, I mean, I've played the game briefly. My kids have played it. They loved it. Have some great stories they used to tell me about it and stuff like that. Okay, so now we're going to want to go like on the corners and just kind of like smooth it and lift it off. And this gives it more of an edge. Smooth it and lift it off. I love how creative you can be with Minecraft. I mean, you can make just about anything, which is kind of cool. I've seen some really creative designs that they do with it. Okay, so we just want to make sure to get this edge here. Okay. Make sure it has a nice edge. And this actually helps make it a nice edge too. All right, and then we just want to make sure to do the sides too. And make sure you got that there. And go all the way around there. There we go. Now this would probably be something that you'd want to do like probably the day before or something like that. Get this going. That way it'd be ready to go. You don't want to have time for this, but it's actually really kind of a fun thing to do. Okay, so once we go ahead and do that, we've got like our nice edges there. You can always go back to it, but once it's thawed, you're not going to be able to use the paper towel anymore. See, it has a nice edge for that. Now we're going to go ahead and get our fruit roll. All right, so once we have our fruit roll, we're going to cut it, and it's a nice roll that you can just like cut into the pieces that you need, which is kind of nice. So we're just going to go ahead and take our pieces and put them on the side. First start with the edge there, and then on the other edge, and then you go ahead and go in the middle. So something like that. Okay, so we put those all along the side there. As you can see, they're all along the edge there. So now we're going to go ahead and do the top. So the top is going to be slightly smaller. You kind of eyeball it to see what it looks like. And the top is going to be more squarish. So we're going to go ahead and just put that there. We're going to do 4 of the longer pieces, or the squares here. The bigger squares. Here. And one here. And then one here. And then we're going to put some smaller squares there. And this is just a fruit roll that I've just cut up. All right, so once you go ahead and put that on, that shows you what it looks like, and let me show you what the finished product looks like. Alrighty, here's our finished product. You can see it has it on the side. It's individual little Minecraft cakes, which are kind of cool. You could give them to everyone at the party. And then also too, I did put a slight bottom border right there, and that's just basically a parchment bag that I folded up and just cut the very tip off of, or you can use a reusable one. So this is what it looks like. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you get a chance to watch some of our other interesting videos, and thank you once again, and let's make the world a better place.